Yeah, we can get started.
All right. Good morning. I want to welcome everybody to our Thursday Thoughts. This is a series that we're going to continue, hopefully even past being socially distanced, but we want to provide you the resources that you need to kind of get through this time and navigate what we have in front of us. The Chamber has been adapting to the current situation, providing resources, and today we're going to give you a marketing message. Please check our website for more webinars and more information. But this morning, we have three tremendous marketers that are going to help you kind of change your message to what we're facing right now. So I would like to introduce Deanna and Brent Doane from Click Canyon and Josh Irons from River Avenue Digital. And our experts today will be taking us through marketing our messages. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Trish. I'm going to start because I'm on the agenda. Follow the agenda. And I'm Deanna Doane, and my business partner is my husband and business and life partner. And we own Click Canyon Digital Marketing. We're based in Wayne, Pennsylvania, in Delaware County. And our service is, obviously digital marketing. And we've been in business for 10 years. And, it's interesting to think like over 10 years, the platforms that we've been on have changed almost, I wouldn't say drastically, but now you look at what's happening now, and this is for every type of business, such a, something none of us have ever experienced, and how we've had to all work through business no matter what it is. Some of the services that we provide are website development, WordPress website development, social media management, and we work with, content development. And one of the things we work with, the people that we work with are small businesses and nonprofits. And, we have seen, people coming to us right now, like, because I'm on a chamber board and I'm on the Wayne Business Association board. And I am on the front lines of working with small businesses, and it is, everybody is just trying to get through. And I think right now we're seeing a pivot to the next stage of what we're doing. And I think that's what we all want to talk about. And maybe Brent can follow up with a couple things that that Click Canyon offers that we're doing right now.
Thank you, Deanna. A couple of things we're doing is just, making sure we work with our customers and clients to hone their particular message, and making sure that we're picking the most efficient tools to use, whether it maybe we need to do some pay-per-click advertising, or we need to do some social advertising, boosting activities, things like that. And it's just turning the knobs in different, to different strengths and weaknesses, and trying to make sure that the people are staying relevant. And Josh, I imagine you have your own thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me start with my introduction, and then we'll kind of jump into this conversation, which I'm excited about. We River Avenue Digital and Click Canyon kind of pre-gamed early this morning over coffee, and we have a great plan for you guys. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But I am Josh Irons. I'm CEO of River Avenue Digital. We're based in Prospect Park, right here in Delco. And we're a full-service marketing agency that leads with digital. So we help small businesses, and we help them not only find new clients, but we help them strengthen their relationships with their current clients. And we do this with a focus on analytics. So our overall goal is to always provide a return on investment and transparency into what that looks like. And we do it through a combination of finding the right strategies and tactics for each individual client. And they range from social media management to SEO, to content marketing, to search engine advertising, and pretty much anything in the realm of marketing. We kind of jump in and we try to become that one-stop shop for our clients. Some of the things that we're doing now is we're trying to just help and be helpful during this time period. If you guys end up following us on social media, you can see some of the videos we're doing to highlight some small businesses, to give information that could be useful, and have other small businesses lead by example. Some people are doing some really good things out there, now that we can all kind of emulate. And we'll get into some of those specifics, and Click Canyon will give some examples. I'll give some examples. And also we're just trying to get ourselves out there and be an extra set of eyes and ears. So my team's offering at no cost 30 minutes of marketing consultation just for people who are having a really tough time and need just the extra hand. But we'll get into all that at the end. But let's just jump right into the agenda now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Josh. So just to start out, as business owners yourselves, you guys are obviously master marketers, but you're business owners as well. So can you guys talk about some of the channels that you're using to communicate with your clients right now, or reach out to the public right now?
Do you want me? Can I go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jump right in.
Okay, great. One of the things, people are asking, how do I see a question here, how do I do it if, my normal messaging, my normal platforms, everybody's closed? People are still online, and some of the techniques you can think about are, has your website been updated? Is all of your information there? Do you have a coronavirus message on your website? If you have a blog, are you writing about what's going on? Have you updated your Google My Business? People are searching for you. They might see you on social media, or somebody might recommend you, or they remember you, or they were a past client. Make sure all of your things are updated, social media, obviously. And, you work what you have and then build on that. There's multiple platforms there that you can use, and just think of a different message. You just have to adjust your message on all the platforms that you're using. Then Josh?
Yeah, I was going to say that, this is a perfect time to kind of take a step back and really know your audience, because where your audience is where you want to be. For instance, some audiences are going to be strictly on Instagram. So make a point to focus your energies on that platform. But to Deanna's point, all the platforms are important. This is a good time to take care of your own house. So updating your website, creating content. People are craving content right now. There's a lot of people that are sitting at home, jumping on random Zoom calls and listening in on different things, because everybody needs some sort of contact. And my blog on riveravenuedigital.com has grown significantly over the past month to levels that are the highest it's ever been. And I credit that to us putting content out there that is engaging, that is useful. And I think all businesses can take a step back and think about the best way to approach that right now and keep these good practices going even after this problem is over.
I think, Josh, you bring up a great point that, there's this thirst for information. And I think as businesses, we need to keep in mind the panels that are blocking information getting through to our customers and our clients are being lowered right now. Because people are so anxious to get information, they don't have as many distractions going on. Look, we got a lot of worries and a lot of problems right now, but the distractions of everyday life have kind of gone to the wayside a little bit. And I think that because those distractions aren't there, that people are more receptive to information. They're picking up, different sources and things like that. So you really have a great opportunity right now to reach out, push content and information out, and share with your audiences. And also, it's a great time to be building goodwill and with your audience, and that's going to pay you dividends in the end.
Yeah, and I think we've been saying it this whole time without saying the quote. So I'll just drop it right here. When fishermen cannot go to sea, they repair their nets. So a lot of us are fishermen right now. So let's take a step back and use this time to construct that solid foundation that we were always like, yeah, we'll get to that. Now some of us can get to that.
Yeah, and I will say, from ClickCandy's perspective and giving you an example, we've had a number of our clients, we do work with all sorts of different clients, but say for instance, several of our retail clients, we've had to actually work with them to scale back some of their programs, to switch the messaging around, because there's not as much activity. There aren't people, coming in and out of the stores and things like that, but they can't go dark. So we're continuing to work with them. But we've actually, on our end, have seen a pickup in the contacts and people reaching out to us saying, hey, I got some time right now. I really want to update my website. Can you folks help me with that? And, those are the ones that are fixing their net, looking ahead saying, okay, I don't know when this is going to get better, but it's going to get better. And I want to make sure that I'm ready. I'm going to hit the ground running, and come July 1 or August 1 or whenever.
Lost you, Brent.
Uh-oh.
I see your mouth moving.
Yeah, lost your audio, Brent. I will, if you don't mind, if I mute, no. I will jump on a little bit on what Brent said on some of the things that you can be doing, like Josh said, to build your net. Communication techniques, that includes, when we say update your website, you can do things so that you're prepared. Some of all those like little admin type of things are part of your marketing message. Do you have all of your, has your email list been scrubbed lately? Has that up to date? Is your database? Make sure you go into all of your platforms and update your name, address, phone number. Those are little things that you can be doing that help you pay dividends in the long run. This is one of the things that and I'm sure Josh will tell you, when we do graphics and we do updates for people, when we do ads, digital ads, people do not have their logo in all formats. That's your main thing. So have all of your collateral, whether it's for print or digital, get all that in one file. So you have a Dropbox folder, or it's in Google, however you share your things in the cloud, put it in the cloud, start those files so that when someone comes to you and says, are you going to run this ad? And you don't have that. That to me is super important in your marketing. Have all of your, like I said, collateral in one place. Get it up to date.
Yeah, you brought up a good point just now, and it's your email list. Email is still an important way and underutilized now because people say, oh, no one reads emails. They do. And open rates are going up now because people, you have a captive audience. A lot of those crappy emails that I always just ignored and didn't open, I'm opening now just because I'm curious to see what are these people talking about. And obviously a great subject line helps promote that open rate. But clean up your list, or create that list, because this is just another touch point for you to stay top of mind. And we keep saying it, ClickCandy keeps saying it, now is a critical time to stay top of mind, because you guys are on this call because you care. You want to see your businesses grow. You want to see everybody get through this. But there's other people that are taking a different approach that aren't being proactive, and they're being reactive, and we'll be able to all pass them by. And it's a shame, but that's the reality of it. So really take this time to fix those nets and do all the little things.
Well, one of the things is I always tell people, and I couldn't agree with you more on the sentiments regarding email. Keep in mind, it was the original social media, and it doesn't matter as you start to build a list. I don't think it shouldn't matter if you have 5 names on your list or you have 500 names on your list. Start planning to work that list and grow it from there.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking about social media and your emails, some people right now, because this is a time of crisis, there's a fine line between, am I selling too much, or am I being insensitive, or are you being tone deaf when you're coming up with content and you're creating these social media posts or these emails? So some people are, where is that line at, and how do you suggest attacking that type of monster as far as like tone is concerned when reaching out?
Well, actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So the approach that we're taking is we're starting with empathy. So we're calling it empathy marketing, and think empathy first. Put yourself in somebody's shoes and say, all right, am I getting sold to? And if the answer is obviously yes, you're way off with your message. Again, now's the time to add value, to expand your reach, but you're still selling, and everybody understands that that's still going on in this world. We all need to make money. We all need to keep moving forward. But there's a line that you need to be conscious of and not go overboard. Don't oversell, don't beg, but at the same time, let people know that you are out there and you're still doing business, and that business will come to you, because a lot of people have just disappeared.
Well, there was Google just released results of a survey, and in the survey they noted that 85% of the participants or respondents said that they were comfortable and appreciated companies and brands communicating with them at this time. And so the other 15%, look, they're not going to be your customers anyway, so you can forget them. But people are open to this. They don't have an issue or problem with companies and brands reaching out to them. And then there was another interesting stat that I saw in the survey, and it said that 3 out of 10 of the respondents said that they had switched or had tried a new brand or a new product because they couldn't get hold of their old one, or it wasn't available, maybe it was supply, whatever it was, they weren't able to do it. So they were trying something different. And that's an opportunity for all of us as businesses, that, hey, there's probably even more higher rates of people looking for solutions and things like that to meet their needs. So it's like you can't go dark. That's the most important thing. And you need to be out there. And as Josh said, start with empathy and work your way through it. And it's okay to, be communicating. Definitely.
If I could add, one of the things, and I will say this, I love that Josh is doing, is supporting other businesses. You can sell by saying something like, we appreciate your continued support. You're not mentioning a product. Everybody knows you're a small local business owner, that this is so difficult. We've used retail, I'll use a spa and hair salons. I mean, they are, they can't do anything. They can maybe sell skincare products, or I've seen a couple salons selling highlighting, but, and they're coming up with different ways to share and keep you engaged. So ideas on, and this goes to, I guess, communication and tone, but, if you're a business that provides a service like that, where it's a high touch point, giving ideas, like a spa that we do business with is giving ideas to how to make your own body scrub with honey or olive oil and salt and sugar, just something fun for self-care. And then also how to use your skincare products, how to maintain your skin, at this time when you're not getting your facials, or how to, some people, and just ideas, and then sharing your employees too. People it really resonates with people to see what's happening with this business. I love them. If it's a restaurant, sharing a fun video, this was Brent's idea. I love this, is because we work with a lot, we're friends with a lot of business owners, restaurant owners in Wayne, and putting up a video of, say, here's something everybody has in their freezer, a bag of frozen French fries. Well, do you want it to taste like it's like you're at Christopher's or at Teresa's or Goat's Beard? Try this. And you just have a little quick video. You're not necessarily selling your service, but it's oh, I cannot wait to go back for lobster mac and cheese, whatever it is. But, you have a good positive vibe, and you're not oh my God, could you please buy a gift card? You're not necessarily doing that, but it might prompt someone to say, I need to support those guys. I want them to be there when we come back around. And if you're a B2B, it's how can we help you? Like Brent said, and I think Josh has said this, we're offering different services, or maybe discounting some services. I know not everybody, it's not the easiest thing to, when we're all in this position to be discounting, but it is a nice option to give people maybe delayed payment, or, I know with retail clients, they're putting things on sale at a deeper discount to get that engagement. And I know, retailers always why do I have to put everything on sale? But it really, that may just give you that next boost. And again, reminds people that you're there for them. And, that's just, the tone is to stay positive, really, and not be beggy. And you can also support another business. It's a great tone. I would say, I love this XYZ, and share their social media or give them a review, like you're out there saying something for another business. And I know like Josh has done that and it's been great.
Yeah, I mean, let's jump on that one. That's so important. Is all, what we can all do, and it's free, is help other businesses. So a like, a share, a comment on other businesses, that helps the social media algorithms look at the importance of each of those posts. And when Facebook sees, oh wow, this one's getting a lot of interaction, a lot more people are going to see it. So we could all help each other out in that sense. Going back to your salon example, if there was a salon right now that did a YouTube video or a video on Facebook that would show me how to cut my own hair, I'd be like, wow, these guys are great, and I remember that. I wouldn't remember, hey, buy a gift card, or I would remember these guys because they helped me out during the situation. Because in about a day, I'm 2 weeks past my scheduled haircut, and I'm going nuts even. And I have a lot of product in it right now. That's why it's staying straight, but it's a mess. But it's those little things that are really going to kind of make you remember a business.
Josh and Brent, there's a question here from someone who is an electrician. Hold on, I have to put my readers on. Who focuses primarily on residential service and closed right now, obviously for the protection of clients and employees. Although I think, that's probably considered an essential business for emergencies, but, how do you help frontline workers and it come off as genuine? And, don't want to be like a PR like we've suggested, showing people, and that you don't want, again, to be salesy or, be opportunistic. And one thing that came to my mind is like tips to be safe, or spring things that you can do, like DIY things that you can check on, like as an electrician, the tips that you would give. And you would give these on a normal day, well, in regular business, but like, are you checking your fire? Everybody's in the house. Are you checking your, your fire alarms and your what are the CO, carbon monoxide things? Give tips and steps so you could have your frontline workers, doing that. I think that's kind of an idea for someone like a service provider, like a plumber or an electrician.
Yeah, and this is the perfect time to find a new client base too. Engage your current clients and find new people out there. But how-to videos, obviously safety first, is going to be something that people will be interested in. I mean, there's also something out there called social search, and people are searching for answers to questions. And whether you film something today that shows somebody what to look for with their old electric box. I'm making stuff up. But in 3 months, somebody may do that same search and find you, and content is out there, and content's out there forever. So the content you create today has a lot more value than just getting your message out today. So it's definitely not a waste of time.
And one other thing to add is I don't know all the particulars of your business, but I do know that there are a number of service providers, in the trades, electricians, plumbers that are still working. I have one client I work with who's a plumber, and he's still active. Because people are, especially now, they're home and they're putting stress on the systems, and toilet repair, clogged drains. We're working with him to make sure that we're promoting his services, and he can be found when someone's looking for a clogged garbage disposal or something like that not working. And so if there is for you a way for you to maybe work in, and then he also has on his website and information what his response is, how he's trying to keep his clients safe with COVID-19 concerns, whether the technicians are taking their temperature every day, they're using
wearing face masks,
gloves and stuff like that. All these kind of things that he's communicating with them, and he's not being opportunistic at all. He's not a PR stunt. But he also knows that people need his services right now. And so on top of what I think was already suggested, Josh's idea of, creating some how-tos and things like that, and things to be aware of, is if you are going to be able to do maybe some basic work with them, I would, if you need to, run ads or stuff like that so people can find you quickly. And also pay attention to the local market, local search market. And I think that's where you really want to spend a lot of time, if you can, focusing on your Google My Business listing. Make sure that thing is strong. It's all filled out. All the information is there. If you you have different hours or anything like that that you need to adjust, do that as part of the COVID messaging also.
Thank you. I think we've heard some great things that people should be doing, and it's all great information on different platforms and different ways of structuring their content. Is there maybe any tips that you have for things that people should not be doing? So the don'ts that people should be aware of when they're moving forward. And maybe we'll start with Josh.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, the don'ts are probably do's, just worded differently, but I mean, don't ignore your social media. Don't eliminate all your marketing. You need to stay out there. You need to stay top of mind. And I think we kind of beat it to death, but the tone deafness is something you should definitely be aware of, because that can sneak up and bite you. And I mean, a lot of people are in a desperate place right now. So it's easy to not be aware. But bounce some wording off somebody, bounce it off us, bounce it off Click Canyon. We're all happy to look at that before you put it out there, just to be another set of eyes and ears, because again, if you're doing things in a vacuum, you may not be aware of the message you're putting out there in front of your audience.
I guess, one comment was made was, obviously don't beg, don't look like you're begging. And then don't be negative. There's enough negativity right now. And so if things aren't going well, don't go to social media and start complaining and saying that this isn't right, and getting into all the political debate and everything else like that, because you end up attaching your brand like a barnacle to those negative comments, and you're not going to shake it. And so you can, this is a great time to communicate, and it's a great time to turn off prospects and clients too. So you do want to watch that carefully.
Yeah, we have a couple clients who have been posting news articles that are either too far right, too far left, and people remember that. And you may have a preconceived notion of somebody that all of a sudden changes, and that may change a business relationship. So I'd be careful about that too. And again, this is something you can bounce off a neighbor or somebody that you trust.
I think the biggest do I know do's and don'ts, like you can name it either way, but be strategic, take a step back. Everybody always says like outside the box. I hate that term. But be strategic in what you're doing. Think now, think 3 weeks, because every week we're hearing different things. Like all of a sudden everybody has to wear masks. Well, so I've seen so many garment companies, so many designers switch to literally all of their things are making masks. But being strategic in what your marketing and your messages is like the biggest do. And really think about it, and don't be like one off. Have a plan. Even if you're sitting and watching Netflix at night, watching a movie, just like things will pop into your head. Look at what your competitors are doing. That's a good do. And like Brent said, local search, see what's going on in your community. I mean, so many businesses in Delaware County are local. I mean, obviously we don't have a lot of international conglomerates around here other than SAP, but, think about like what's going on in your immediate community. What is your radius, and what's happening, and what can you do strategically to be part of that community? So people go, oh, do you need an electrician? Do you need this? Do you need that? Oh, I know. Oh, I saw this on, so just think that way. I think is a big do. Being positive and strategic is a huge do.
Yeah, and I would say just more do's and don'ts. Be aware of any automated messaging that you may have. This is a do and a don't, because there's some legacy things out there that you could be saying that may end up not being what people want to hear right now. Bad example, but a airline that says an automated message, now's a great time to book.
Right.
That makes you look a little silly. So be aware of that stuff, because it's out there and it's lingering.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great point, Josh. And you still see it going on. I mean, you do. You see the airlines. Now's a great time to book your trip, or Hawaii getaway. So I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. And yeah.
Yeah, and another do is when I mentioned it before, is there's so many ways to support each other and support small businesses, and it's share social media posts, post positive reviews on their Google My Business or on their Facebook feed, on their Yelp, refer businesses to friends, um, shout them out on social, follow them on Instagram. I mean, this is free stuff that we can all do right away that can really help each other, and it makes an impact. I have an alarm on my phone in the morning for when I wake up and I'm laying in bed, and it says social. So what I do is I just go down my social feed. I follow people. I like people's posts, and I comment on them. And I do that every day. It helps get my name out there. It helps with my brand, but it also helps with the brands that we follow and we interact with.
Mm-hmm. And here's something. It's like an odd thing is, we're talking about like your strategic message. Is there something that you wanted to maybe change about what you're offering? Can you look at your brand, look at your logo? Is there anything that during this a little not so aware time that you want to update? That's another thing to do. I think is take the time to do a little analysis of all of your services, your offerings, your look, your brand. And is it making you happy? Does it make you feel good? Because if you're like, I don't really like this or that, then you may be transferring that tone to your potential client. So you want to embrace and be really, really proud of what you're offering. So that's a good do, or a good, I guess, I was looking at all our lists here, but it's a good, for you, focus on you for a little bit too. I mean, I know you need the sales and stuff, but one of the things that you can do to build sales in the future is have a positive vibe from you. So just another do or tip.
I was just gonna, in the chat, Greg from Independence Blue Cross, I know he's runs the CHIP program. He mentioned, how do you find a blog that pertains to your line of business? So I don't know if he means how to just find one to follow, or if he means like he wants to post blog posts or something along those lines. But is that something you guys want to, I guess, address both sides of?
Oh, he just said post.
Okay, so I guess I'm assuming that means he wants to post some blogs. So again, him specifically is, he's part of the CHIP program for Independence Blue Cross, which I think is kind of more important now than ever, because people are getting their benefits dropped and they need to make sure their kids are still protected. So
I would suggest being active on LinkedIn and posting stories there, where you can actually put blog-like entries onto LinkedIn and share those out. I mean, I think that creating your own blog is an option, but I think an easy entry is using LinkedIn as a platform to get that content out there.
And then to find blogs, obviously, people put in long keyword searches, full sentences, think of the topics that if you want to see what people are talking about CHIP, literally think of the questions that you're asked about it and put that question into Google. People don't realize you can put a full long question into things, and it doesn't have to be one keyword or two. So that's an option to find it, is look at what people ask you and ask those questions in Google to find other people talking about it.
And so another thing you can do, and we do this with all of our clients and ourselves, is we create Google News alerts for certain keywords so that we get inbound emails anytime there's something that's mentioned relevant to that, and that keeps us ahead of the game. We don't have to go searching.
Right.
We become a little bit more proactive and can get in front of a story before it becomes a story.
Was there any other questions? I'm just looking at those.
It looks like Fred Jackson has a question. I'll read it out loud, and then you guys could take the first stab at it. I have an IT support business. I am thinking about going back to business prospects I proposed in the past and checking with them to see if they are okay. As many businesses all of a sudden were required to work remotely, many were not prepared for this transition. Do you think this is a good idea, and how would you approach them?
Yes, it's a great idea.
Great idea.
Do it. Start now. As soon as this is over, begin doing that immediately. No, definitely. First of all, there was a relationship. Whether or not it prospered into actual business, I don't know. But at some point, there was trust between the two of you, and they may have gone a different direction for whatever reasons. But there's an awareness and a familiarity, and I think you can take advantage of that and try to reach out and see them. And it's, this kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier. I think it's about, a lot of this is about goodwill at this point. And reach out to them with the intent that you want to try to help them, as you mentioned in your comments. You're trying to, you're going to, in the end, be building some goodwill. If they say, no, I'm good, everything's fine, and you've done it in a way that's not salesy, that you were truly trying to be the good guy on the team, that's not going to hurt you at all. And actually, when something does go wrong, because eventually their current provider is going to stumble, then they may be thinking of you as like, hey, I want to reach back out to them in the future too. They were the ones who were actually concerned and trying to help me at one time. But no, I don't see any problem with doing it.
Yeah, and I think, Fred, specifically to what you're saying, people were forced into a work from home situation which is totally new to a lot of businesses, and they consume now a lot of products that may not be the right products for them, or they're not utilizing those products to the full extent. So all of a sudden, everybody hears Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Now we're all on Zoom. But Zoom may not be the right fit if they are on a Microsoft platform where they could use Teams. So you're the subject matter expert, and you can come in and say, hey, I just want to make sure you're okay. Here's some options for you. Happy to talk about it and help you out where I can. And that's a good message.
There was one other question I see here that was asked a few minutes ago from somebody obviously who knows their website. Do we have to update title tags, meta keywords? Do you think that that's something that should be done right now? I haven't done a whole lot of that. I mean, we haven't done a ton of that. I mean, we've worked on it with blogs, like getting that content out there, using it that way, but I wouldn't go delve that deep. I don't think I'm changing things. Josh, what do you think?
I would say it's a good time to look at it.
Yeah.
And just create a report and look at that report and see if anything's out of whack. Because what happens is when people take over their website after a company like us or Click Canyon build it, they start making updates that are a little different. And one thing that I see all the time, I'm sure you guys see it too, is they'll copy a blog page to create a new blog page and keep the same stuff from the old one. So, and I think it was Veronique who made that comment. If you're doing a blog post about channel letter signs, and then you create a new blog post about A-frame signs, you don't want the same meta descriptions for both of those, because Google's not going to be too excited about that.
Right.
My sign knowledge is on point, by the way. I know channel letters and pylon signs. And
I do just want to remind everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to either type them into that question and answer box so you can see on the bottom of the Zoom screen, or you can put them in the chat. We'll use this time to kind of focus on what you all have questions in regards to marketing and messaging. So feel free to put your questions down there.
Maybe while people are putting questions in, we can go through a couple of examples of clients or things that we've seen that have been interesting that people may kind of grab some ideas from.
That would be great.
Yeah, so we have one restaurant client, and obviously restaurants who are able to sell gift cards, that's great for them because they're getting the cash and they need the cash now, and then they'll be able to service that person a little bit later. So one restaurant in particular, they're selling gift cards. Great. So every restaurant's selling gift cards, but for every $50 in gift card sales, they're donating a pizza to an emergency room. And over the last week, they were able to donate 17 pizzas to the emergency room. And this particular hospital put something on social media thanking this restaurant for the donation. And all of a sudden, the news started calling, newspapers started calling, people were giving them shout outs on social media. So it kind of started just a snowball effect of goodwill. And to what we've all been saying during this whole call, it's all about that goodwill. So they were able to take something that they would have done normally, spin it into something that was low cost, because the cost of providing one pizza is minimal. And they've really created something special, and it's became more of a pay it forward campaign where now other businesses are picking up on it.
I have two examples. One is a retailer, and we had talked about this beforehand, is while she's suggesting you buy gift cards from her, to use in the future, like buy 100, get 25, but she's giving 10% of all of her gift card sales during this time to to a hospital auxiliary, because she was already a sponsor for events that they do. So she's in, for nonprofits, this is like the height of event season for fundraising. So she's able to support a nonprofit that she believes in, through her sales, but it's just like the pizza thing, like up to a certain amount, and then we're going to donate, so she's just whatever gift card she sells, she's giving 10%. And then on the nonprofit side of things, they're always in the position to be asking small businesses. So if you're a nonprofit, while you still want to be fundraising, you can, that goodwill piece of things, like, every year this business or this is a list of our sponsors. If you could go and give them, buy a gift card, give them a review, share their social media. I mean, that's a great thing for nonprofits. If you're involved in any nonprofit, think of all the sponsors every time you go to an event, or if you do a silent auction, think of all the boutiques that have given things, or photographer's services, or, the service providers that give experiences to those events. That's a great way for nonprofits to support all those sponsors, because every year they go back and ask and ask and ask. So it's a nice turnaround to say, hey, these people support us every year, and we want to continue to have these type of businesses to support our event. Like I work with Radnor Education Foundation, and they turn around and said, hey, we just had a super successful 25th anniversary, and this is a list of our sponsors, and we put it out there, and they're continuing to say, let's support them because they support us, and they make us a stronger nonprofit to support whatever their cause is. So just an idea and an example.
Well, yeah, I thought an interesting concept that came through was as actually for our personal.
Oh, we lost you.
Uh-oh.
Lost your voice, Brent. Oh. I don't know why.
Is that any better?
Oh, there. Yeah, there you go. I can hear you.
Is that all right? Okay. So our financial planner is hosting webinars, and they're bringing in experts and doing some really creative things. But then we got to invite, and they normally every year they have some big event where they have everybody come together and they entertain us, and we do some that we normally wouldn't do. Well, they're now doing a wine tasting virtually. And the whole deal is they've partnered with a winery in California. You'll fill out what your favorites are. They'll send you 3 bottles of wine, and then you're to have those open, and you're going to go through the tasting with the experts, and they're kind of walking you through it. And so here it is, a face-to-face physical product event type deal. They've partnered with someone else out there in the marketplace. And I thought it was a really creative, great idea to still engage your audience virtually, still get something in their hands, and everything ties back to this financial planner. That was a great strategy, and I'm looking forward to it.
Which, I think underlying, it's like everybody's drinking a little bit more because they're worried about their finances. So they're trying to keep, distract people from the stock market a little bit as a financial planner. But it's a great way to engage people and, just give them something fun to think about. So, Yeah, just another idea.
I think that actually goes great with a question that was asked by, I think it says Derek. He says, I'm also an IT provider and luckily we are doing okay. How can we step outside the IT world and engage the community? I want to get our name out so people remember us when this is over. I think that kind of correlates with that, but do you have any specific suggestions for him?
I think that, showing subject matter expertise in a time like this is important, because that's going to make you kind of the go-to for a certain topic. And also showing leadership in the community is another opportunity. One thing that we are doing is we're interviewing a lot of small businesses, and we're putting those videos out on social media, and we're trying to highlight great things that they're doing. We did one with Manti Santiago, who's the executive director of Tyler Arboretum, last week.
That was great.
Thank you. And Tyler is doing something really, really awesome where, they have a ton of in-person activities that they do on a regular basis. Obviously, they can't do that right now. So they're creating a set of virtual events and things that can keep people entertained, can keep people busy. And it's kind of going out of their comfort zone, but it's something that they're pivoting into, and they're doing it really well. So they're going to have a schedule on their website of events, just like they would have their bird watching tours or their anything that was on the ground. But now it's going to be all virtual. So they made a transition, they made a pivot, but they're also going to walk out of this still top of mind.
One of the things, if you're IT, I think we touched on this before with Fred, is to, there's so many things that people don't know about, like if they've brought their whole office home and you've got 5 people that are connecting, like you can talk about cybersecurity, you can talk about networks, you can talk about, best practices, you can talk about Zoom backgrounds. I know that that's not exactly, but it makes it kind of fun, or filters, that you can use, but you can do fun things, but you can say like Josh said, be, a thought leader or someone, with see, there you go. I'd rather be. So yeah, you could do different things to make it fun. But also, cybersecurity is a huge deal. Like just as an example, and feel free to use this as an IT guy, I saw something that all these people are posting senior photos. That is a huge scam. It can be, they're using it as a scam now. Like people have realized, okay, they now know your maiden name. They know where you grew up. They know how old you are. These are all password questions that people use. So they're using
high school picture.
Yeah, posting your senior photo can be used to steal your identity. So it's something, like as an IT guy, you can go ahead and use that topic or that idea. But I think I saw Forbes just wrote an article about it, that people are doing all these little informational quizzes and things like that. Yeah, that's the total no. You're putting so much information out there, and a lot of these new apps the kids are doing the same thing. So that's a very specific idea as an IT person, and you probably do security and firewalls. That's little things that people are doing in boredom with their kids. I'm not saying TikTok, because I think that's kind of fun, but I haven't talked Brent into it yet, but he's not going to do it. But those there's a lot of those apps that are gathering information that you may not want to be sharing.
And also one other thing to keep in mind as you're trying some of these new avenues, you're trying to go into, try to push the envelope and do something different. It doesn't have to be perfect, all right? It's okay if it's a little grainy or there's not quite absolutely everything perfect. Perfection is the enemy of done. And I hate that so many times when people are like, well, I want to keep working it. I don't want to push it till it's absolutely right, because it reflects negatively on my brand. Again, right now, people understand and appreciate that, and there's an authenticity that comes to, when you're just trying to get information out and help them, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So don't let that hold you back. Don't let that stop you.
And to that point, Brent, even before this whole thing, one thing I always have in all my presentations is you are your biggest enemy, because you probably look great on video, but you think you look awful, and you think you're embarrassed, but you're not. You just have to get out there and do it. The first time it's going to suck. The second time it's going to suck less. The third time it's going to be great. And people get it, right? And no one's expecting you to be Steven Spielberg.
I will give an example, because a couple weeks ago, Trish McFarlane, she like Facebook messaged me and she says, "Will you be on TV with me?" And I'm like, "Wait, or will you answer a few questions from CBS 3?" And I'm thinking they're going to call me. And she goes, "No, no, no, no. You're going to be on TV." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm thinking that I did so hard, thanks to my AV team, my husband and my college kids. They set my desk up. They made me look really good with like a background. And I thought I did horribly. And I had people calling me like, "I just saw you on TV. You were great. You were so eloquent." And I'm thinking, oh my God, I sucked. I screwed that up so bad. I should have enunciated better. And like Josh says, you think you suck, but you probably don't. So just don't overthink it. Just, come from like a normal person, like you're at a luncheon or something, or just talking to your friends. I mean, look at it that way. It always helps to have other people on the screen, of course, but just remember that everybody's in the same boat.
I think this is all amazing advice, and thank you three so much for joining us this morning. We do have a few minutes or so left, so did the three of you want to maybe go around and just share any final thoughts that you have, and maybe if anyone would like your contact information, if you could put that in the chat, or I could share that with people afterwards. But I definitely think after this, people are going to have a lot of questions for you again.
Yeah, well, on the questions, I think Josh said this, we all three of us, our business, we're here to help. So if you need to bounce an idea off of us, email us, reach out, DM us on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, or through our website, or call us, text us, whatever, however you like to reach out. We are here to help. If you had an ad or something, I hate to say I'm a guru or an expert, but we've seen a lot more than probably you have. And, we're just really glad to be in this business and be able to help small businesses and nonprofits and come up with ideas and, continue to provide services during this time. And thank you so much to the Delco Chamber for supporting us and offering this platform for us to essentially promote our business. And so we appreciate that very much so.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for that. For River Avenue Digital, again, we are happy to have conversations with anybody about anything they want to bounce off us. We also are happy to spend a half hour with you and just strategize on marketing messaging during this time. My team is volunteering their time to do that. Also, follow our blog or sign up for our email list, because we do put out a lot of free information there, things that you can do that are actionable that you don't have to pay for right now. And the other thing that we're doing is if we do bring on new clients during this time, we're not going to invoice until the summertime. And we can talk through details of that if there's something that you need now, because we understand all businesses are in a tough spot. And we're want to be as flexible as we can during this time period.
I guess, for me, I'm dying without sports. And so I would just end on a sports analogy, and it was from a football coach. And his advice was, okay, if you're out there on the field and you have no idea what to do, then just go hit somebody. And so that would be my advice to everybody. Just look, if you don't know what to do, at least just go out and hit somebody and start going to the nenext one after that.
Right. And if I could just say one thing, like on service providing, just like Josh's, I think, in our line of business, sometimes people think it's so expensive to get something started, and we've been able to engage with a lot of people for websites. So just like Josh said, I'm not trying to say this in competition, but deferred payments. If you wanted to start a website or start a program, definitely deferred payments might help you to jump in. So.
Okay. Well, thank you all again. We really appreciate it. Your expertise is very much so appreciated, and I think we'll go to use. We already had someone say in the chat that they came up with an idea from all the information that you shared. So it's already getting people's plans rolling. So I'm excited to see what comes out next, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Thanks so much.